All right, grade 7, here we go, lesson 96. We're going to talk about measuring angles by estimating. And the way that we're going to do that today is kind of look at angles in terms of a clock. Now, you know that a circle has a total measurement of 360 degrees, right? It's 180 times 2. So the first part of that, the first part of that is, for example, from 12 to 6, that's 180 degrees. So you'll see that between 12 and 6, there are 30 minutes, right? So if we have 30 minutes, right, and 180 degrees, that means we have 6 degrees per minute. The way that's easy to help you guess that is that if you were to, for example, look at a nice easy angle, such as this one here, you could see that that's 90 degrees, right? We have 15 times 6, which is 90. So it's fairly easy to remember. The other way is to know that every time you get to these, you're at 30 degrees. These are 30 degrees, right? And then you can add a little bit more every time if you're in between. So that's really what they want to discuss first of all with you. And then the next thing they want to discuss in this lesson is the distributive property of multiplication. And you can see that I've written it down here, right? If we have A bracket B plus C will equal the same thing as A times B and A times C, which is AB plus AC. That's really how that works. Now, I'll go through the practice set with you, and that will help you understand how that all works. You should be able to work your way through that quite easily. So, let's just clear off the screen here for a second so you can easily see how these examples work. So, you'll be able to do that. So, let's get ready for A. So A is showing us the angle of A0B. So we have A coming down to here, and then 0 is in the middle, and B comes right up over here. So it's fairly easy to see that you go 6, 12, 18, 24. So the answer for A is going to be 24 degrees. Right? And the next one is asking you to do A0C, and that one runs right through here. So if we take those other angles out and see it, remember I told you every one is 30, so you get 30, 60, 90, 120. So B will be 120 degrees. So if you're ready to try C, take a look at it, hit pause, and see if you can figure that one out. It's A0D. Okay, so we got a slightly different angle there. It comes in, hopefully I do this right, kind of looking over, right up, over into here. So if we look at it, we have 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, and 42. So the correct answer would be 42 degrees for that one. Now the rest of this exercise here is going to be working on this concept here, the distributive property of multiplication. So let me go through that with you, and hopefully that makes sense for you. So we're going to go through D first, and D is x times x subtract y. So remember, we're multiplying this by this, and then this by this. So x times x is x squared. X times, remember, negative y is negative xy. So that would be your solution for D. Let's move on to E. So if you go to E, copy it down, see if you can do it yourself. You have negative 3, subtract 2x minus 1. Again, same concept, negative 3 times the negative 2x, and negative 3 times the negative 1. So negative 3 times 2x will give you negative 6x. Negative 3 times negative 1 gets you plus 3. So that will get you your correct answer. Let's move on to F. F is negative x, x minus 2. Try it out on your own. See if you're getting it the right way. So remember, we have to do negative x times x and negative x times negative 2. So negative x times x gives you negative x squared. Negative x times negative 2 gets you plus 2x. G. G says negative 2, 4 minus 3x. So again, negative 2 times 4 and negative 2 times negative 3x. So we get negative 8 plus 6x. All right, so next one, they're going to just make it a whole lot more complicated. It's going to look more complicated, same basic principle. Okay, the only thing is you're going to have to remember bed mass comes into here, so your order of operations. So we have x squared plus 2x minus 3 bracket x plus 2. So here's the one that we want to focus on. If we are looking at this, we have to focus on this first. So negative 3 times x, and negative 3 times positive 2. So these guys can stay the same for now. So let's expand this. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times positive 2 gets us negative 6. Now we're not finished here because we do have some like terms that we need to deal with. And you can see that these are like terms. They're just plain old x's. We have 2 x's and then we're taking away 3 x's. So once we do that, you'll see that we have a negative x. We can't take away x squared because that's a different thing. So we have x squared minus x minus 6, and that would be your final answer. Okay, let's move on to F. No, that wasn't F that I just did. That was H that I just finished there. H, sorry. And let's go back here. Now we're on I. I, x squared minus 2x minus 3, and then x minus 2. Looks very much similar to the other one, except we have switched a couple into negative numbers here. You'll see that's going to make a difference. So the first thing that we do, same thing as what we did before, we have to do that negative 3 times x and then negative 3 times negative 2. So that actually gets us negative 3x and positive 6. Okay, the rest we can keep down here for now. And now we have to focus on our like terms. So if we're looking at like terms, we're at negative 2x, we subtract another 3x, so we get x squared, subtract 5x plus 6. You see quite a different answer than the other one once you switch the positives and the negatives around from one question to the other. So remember to follow those positives and negatives all the way through. So that was I. Let's flip the page there, and then here it says for J, estimate from there. I would like you to work on estimating that. If you have a protractor, definitely use it. If not, take your best guess, and we'll take that up together maybe on the Google Meet. So that gives you your full lesson for today. Make sure that you go through all of the even numbers, and of course on Friday we'll be doing a test. So if you want to review any of the videos that I sent, that might be a good review for the test, because those are the concepts that we're getting in there from 91 all the way to 90.